What up everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this high-pitched sort of bass with a comb filter and some FM synthesis and not much else. So here is the bass. So the first thing we're going to do is pitch it down by 2 octaves and make sure we have mono legato turned on, because that's always better for basses most of the time. And go on to spectral and find the Squelchy 2 wavetable, even though it doesn't really matter, but I found the best results with this since that's what I was messing around with. I'm going to drop down the volume and apply this LFO over here, triggered of course, 1/4. And mess with the tension a little bit. Now I'll go ahead and FM it from B, the oscillator B, and I'll just leave it as a square wave like this. And I'm going to turn down the volume and pitch it up by 1 octave. Now I'll apply the second LFO over here, of course triggered again, to this coarse fine pitch. And now when I crank up this FM knob over here, it's starting to take shape slowly. All we really need now is the comb filter. So now that I've got this comb filter engaged, I'm sure you can tell that it's pretty finicky, just like the reverb filter. But I'm going to turn it all the way down and put this second LFO onto it about 1/4 of the way. And it's going to give it that crazy whooshing effect that you hear at the beginning and at the end. I'm also going to put this macro on the LFO speed so I can just control the speed of the bobble. Moving on to the effects tab, pretty much just some hyper dimension expansion, kinda like that. A little bit of distortion, but not going too crazy because it's just going to destroy the sound. All that nice defined high end is going to go away. And just a little bit of compression on the multiband setting, and I'm going to set this LFO 1 to the threshold and as well as the gain, but this is totally optional. This is just how I would do it. Now I'm just gonna go back and slightly adjust this by cranking up the tension of this second LFO a little bit, just to my taste, just to kind of sustain that filter and that pitch modulation a little bit. And another thing that's of course totally optional is this reverb, and putting these LFOs on a reverb, totally optional. But what this pretty much does is let the reverb be engaged only when the LFO is at the top, so when it's at the bottom it turns off the reverb and removes that pesky tail that you sometimes don't want. But again, totally optional, but there we have our sound. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the second macro on the octave of the second oscillator. Only apply it a little bit so I can only switch between 1 octave up and down. And it's going to give me control over the speed of the FM, which is going to be pretty cool. It's going to change the pitch of the sound and allows for more control over the sound. So that's pretty much the sound right there. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, then you can click one of these thumbnails over here to go to another video that I've made about a similar topic. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a good one.